Welcome back to American Nostalgia Garage. As usual, we don't have any money. Bunny ears here. We got to put an interior in this thing. So we're going to do a budget interior on our 85 K10 pickup truck. So as you can see, the cover is off the seat because in typical fashion we're filming this out of order because that's what we can do. That's what we have time to do. So the seat is going to get recovered. We're going to get some new foam there. We're going to do a new carpet. We're going to freshen up all the gauges and make sure those work. We are going to install a new dash cover. We're going to do new door panels. And generally, we're just going to make the interior just look a whole lot nicer. Stick around and see if we can actually stick to a budget, because that's something we have problems with around here. All right, you can tell by the light here that it's getting really dark. So this is pretty much how it is in the fall here in New York, or I guess anywhere else. Well, we're losing light, so, you know, it's like 12:30 in the afternoon, because that's what happens in the fall. You have like 15 minutes of daylight every day. It's fine. You just never get any work done. It's fine. Anyway, I've got our pole jack set up with a light here. There is the rust hole that we've got to cover. The gas tank is underneath here. That's the gas tank cover. So welding near here will be really, really smart and a good idea. But like I said, it's getting dark. So let me just bang this out and I'll show you what we got when we complete. We have our patch that we took care of here. This was all rotted out. Wait. All right, we got to get the seat out of this thing. And if these geese would just calm down up there, my God. What's actually happening in the sky right now that they're all yelling about?
It's Canada Day, that's why.
Oh, that's right. It's got to be Canada Day. We're going to get the seat out of this thing. There's, looks like 2 bolts in the front, one here, one on the other corner, and one in the back, and on the other corner. We're going to get this thing out, get it inside the garage where there's light, and we're going to do something about this. Good. Why don't you just stay in there then? Ouch. Yeah, I got caught on the door. This thing is really light. Looks like Chip and Dale, not the dancers, but, you know, the Chips and Monks or whatever, monkey things. We're living under the seats here. Here is our patient for the day. Honestly, pretty good condition. I'd sit on it. On that side. This is all got to go. So we're going to get this thing off, new foam, and get it recovered. Honestly, I'm thinking of just keeping it like this right here. New addition to the shop. All right, we got this thing folded in half. Here are the hog rings, which you guys have seen on the channel before. These are just metal clips that get folded over around a listing wire and the frame of the seat to hold the cover on. So we're going to cut all of those, take off these little covers and things like that, cut all the hog rings on the bottom of this one, and then yank them all off. You know how to do this?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Want me to help you?
Yeah.
Okay, I will help you with this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Store.
To the seat store?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I am 2 matchbooks, a coupon for some popcorn, and about 27 cents richer. Also, now I can organize all my paperwork with this paperclip. All right, we got our new cushions, or our new covers, and they're really, really nice. They feel good, and this is the cheapest one you can get. I got it from LMC. It was a pain in the butt because they only go by code, so you have to actually know what interior code you have. And okay, Enema. There's about 14 different blues interiors for this truck, which is pretty cool. So thank you for GM for that. But once you get the right one, man, does it look nice. So we got to get the 2 seat halves apart, the upper and the lower, and then we can start recovering. They also gave us new hog rings and hog rings. I just said the same thing twice. They gave us new hog ring pliers and hog rings. Just be sure to round that Torx off for me, please.
Always.
As you can see, we have our best mechanic on this seat right now. Not him. Him.
I was gonna say, you're giving me way too much credit.
Oh no, I wouldn't be found dead giving you any credit for anything. Got the seat in 2 halves here. I'm gonna cut all these hog rings out on the bottom here. I'm gonna let them all land on the floor in the garage where I park something that I value. So I'll make sure to make a mess. I'm also using a $4,500 plier because Mr. Moneybags over here has to buy all name brand stuff.
I don't settle for anything but the very best.
Well, now I have a new set of pliers because Mr. Inside Trading here is definitely, he's donating these to the garage. They actually cut really well. I don't know if they're worth the $2,700,000 that he paid for them, but they're mine now. Alright, so the way that this goes together is there's a chunk of wire that comes out of the frame inside the foam here, and then there's this listing wire that goes through this listing on the bottom of the seat, and what you do is you take the listing from the front or the back edge, from the front edge, and then you hog ring the 3 of them together, and it'll hold the seat covers nice and tight. All right, at quick glance, the foam looks pretty good except for one spot up here and down where like the bolster is, but that's going to take a little bit of foam and we're good. Oh, hold it. Somebody shoved a piece of pig mac behind the springs to fluff the seat up, which turned into a nest, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I like this coin.
And we're missing some of the springs that go underneath. All right, we got to cover this spot here where the foam is kind of getting damaged and missing. We got this old piece of foam that my dog sat on for a long period of time. We're going to try to get this section that has the biohazard, you know, not in the mix here. Let's see. We'll use this corner, which I cut a little bit already. Oh, we got a perfect cut. You can't even tell I was in there. Just get the rest of the tree bark off. And then I'm going to contour this a little bit so it fits in there a little bit better. And now, all right, we got our foam on there. We're going to throw a seat cover on.
Alright, so while Steve's holding the covers together, I'm going to put this through his finger and the seat, just making it all one piece.
Actually, I want to just make mention that the cushion itself has a carve out for where the center is, and then we're going to kind of straddle that with our piping here. There is no listing in the middle. The wire starts about here. So we're going to get as close to center as possible. We're starting in the middle, that way we don't kind of offset it and have something like this going on. So we're going to do one on each side of the middle, as close to the center as possible, and work our way out. Go ahead, close it down.
You see?
Oh yeah, for this one.
Yep. There you go. One. Hold on a second, I just want to check this. Yeah, that's good. Right here. Okay. Our foam worked over there. You can barely tell it's in there. When you're sitting on it, you'll have some support. The back of the seat is done. The bottom of the seat is going to have to get new springs. We'll do that tomorrow, so we'll get back on that tomorrow. But for now, this is going to change the look of the interior, so I'm really happy with it. All right, it's another day, and again, it's dark. It's like one of those horror movies where it's basically nighttime for like 7 days straight. And somehow, like, everybody's just awake forever and nobody sleeps. Anyway, we're back on the lower seat cushion. Let me show you what we got. So this rod is either broken off at the end or it pulled that way somehow. So we're going to add some on just so that these like little wires that hold the edge of the seat on, or the edge of the seat cushion up, have something to hold on to. We're going to have to weld a little bit of extra rod on there, and then we'll put our new springs from here to the frame that were broken. And that should hold all of this in place. As you know, we're welding on a seat cushion, which is approved. If you guys watch the channel, you've seen that we've done that before. It's a really good idea. All right, so here I'm giving you a better idea of why we did this. These little wires go to each one of these, I guess, bigger wires. And these two were just floating in the wind, and those are responsible for where the driver's, you know, rear hind end goes. So these can't be flapping in the breeze. This spring was actually on the floor, and these two were broken and missing. So we put one back on, we bought new springs, and now we extended this rod out so that we can actually get something to have a hold, to grab a hold on out here and connect to the frame. So this all should be tight again. All right, we got our new springs. They are a slight bit different tension between these and these. I think these are like 11 pounds I saw on the package. These maybe are 15. I'm guessing here. But these are slightly heavier than these. So we actually just took one off and we split them there so that we don't have two weaker springs in one area, especially where somebody's going to be putting their butt. But anyway, this is fixed. It's ready to get the foam back on it. We'll refoam the area that was missing and then a new cover, and we're done with the seat. All right, well, we had a foam issue, and yeah, I mean had. Look at this. Boyd Coddington himself would be real proud if he saw all the stuff I learned from watching his TV show as a kid. Staring at this. Nope, that's awful. But you want to know something? It does give us the extra cushion where we needed it. It didn't cost anything because I already had it. My dog's going to be wondering where her foam bed is, but we'll just lie to her and then give her a bunch of table scraps. She'll be fine. All right, buddy, are you real proud of our work?
Nope, I'm actually looking for new friends right now.
Okay, I was looking to make a joke and he just decided to hurt my feelings, so I guess we'll just move on and pretend that didn't happen. We're going to start assembling our train wreck seat. There's like a little J hook on the back that goes around the seat frame. So we're going to hook that on first. And we're going to take our hands and push it into the corner. So I got my fist inside the cover that's turned inside out. I'm going to push towards the corner, and then I'm going to roll over the top. And yeah, it's dark out, so that's good. It helps with the filming because you can't tell how bad it is. But believe it or not, it's actually not that bad. We thought it was going to look really like wonky and high here, but it's not. And it looks actually really great. And this is going to preemptively help us for when this seat cushion wears out, which does happen over time from sitting in it. You know, it's not a perfect design. And this will give it a little extra padded support so that it doesn't wear out as fast. There it is. Really easy to see because it took 40 hours to do it, and it's dark out. And this thing put up a fight like Jaws at the end of Jaws 1. Except that we were this close to exploding it with a compressed air tank and a rifle. We didn't do it though. I'm sitting in it. It feels good. It looks good. It's actually comfortable. The foam actually worked out perfect, believe it or not. But we are tired, We've been working at this for a little while. Also, we're covered in foam from, you know, cutting down the foam thing to put in here. So, I mean, we look like we either lived inside of a snow globe or like this is a scene from Scarface or something like that. But we're going to get washed up. We're going to get back at it tomorrow in the daytime. And maybe we can get it cracked on with this interior so we can finish the rest of it. Getting a little bit of an earlier start today so we can accomplish something instead of nothing. But it is just me, so don't tell Ryan. Actually, I just need to square some things up so that we're rocking and rolling today. Let me show you the first thing I witnessed today. Ryan used my wire wheel to contour the foam on the seat, which explains why he apologized to me out of nowhere yesterday. What are friends for? I guess we'll just throw that in the garbage. Also, you guys may be thinking, wow, is that guy a wizard or something? Or is he able to just, know the future? You know what this is? This is the piano hinge that we used to make the glove box hinge for the 66 Nova. And I did say when I cut this that I was going to need this other half or something, and sure enough, here we go. And I'll have extra just in case I got to do another one of these, which will probably happen. The K10's glove box is broken, so we'll be using it for that. Something tells me the next owner of this truck might want this to be mounted there. I'm not entirely sure why, but just something just tells me that it should be up here. Also, today is going really well. This is the tripod that I usually put you guys on so that the camera works. I am holding half of the tripod and half of it is on the ground. I better get something done quick, otherwise this is going to be a terrible day. So the hinge on this glove box was plastic and it ripped. So I used the old piano hinge that we had left over from the Nova, sunk some screws through what was left of the flange there, and now we've got this to mount to underneath here. I'll bolt it up and we'll be good to go. Of course, it can never be easy. This edge right here was hitting the heater box on the inside of this truck, so I had to take a little flap disc and shave it down a little bit. I could have just left it like that, but guys, I mean, come on. We're building perfection here. Remember our seat cushion? All right, so what's next? Actually, I wish it was lunch, because about up to here with this car. But it can't be lunch because it's like 4 in the afternoon. I'm about to lose the sun any minute now. And I gotta wrestle this thing in. Gotta throw a new carpet in here. So I gotta get it laid in, mark all the spots that it needs to be cut and trimmed, and then I'm gonna lay it in and I'm gonna glue it to the floor so it doesn't move. Just feels nice. If I could give one piece of advice, it would be try and get the carpet as far slid under the dash as possible, because you'll think it's good and then you'll glue everything down and you'll get it all where you want it, and then you'll look at it and you'll stand outside the car and you'll see the floor. You'll look straight down and the first thing you'll see is the floor and you'll be really upset. Ask me how I know. Also, try to use the carpet as much as possible. Remember, there are, engineering and production tolerances. This carpet may not be perfect. It is an ACC carpet, which I've found from years of doing carpets and interiors and fixing cars. ACC makes good stuff. But that doesn't mean that this carpet's perfect. You could put this carpet in and try to use some of the stamping molded areas, and they're just not going to line up with your vehicle. Another thing, this truck was originally a column shift. Now it's a floor shift. There's a hole that's going to need to be cut in this carpet for a stick shift that never existed here in this specific truck. So, of course, you can't use that, and it's going to take some locating and measuring and making sure you got it right. Long story short, take your time when you're putting your carpet in. So, in an effort to kind of show you what I mean, there's a molded section where the carpet drops off down to like the floor where your feet go, and this is where the seat pedestal is, the higher portion where the seat goes, and there's this molded portion that drops off. Now I know that's going to be located at that drop off. But you got to make sure that you get this like edge molding stuff tucked up against the kick panel as much as possible. But I also want to make sure I get the carpet underneath the dash as much as possible. So when you're out here, you actually can't see anything underneath the dashboard. All you see is carpet as high as you can go. So I know I've got it right, but I do have to cut slots in it and trim her out around the pedals. And then, like I said, I've got to cut a hole for a shifter over there. So that's going to be next. All right, well, it looks like we're doing acupuncture on our carpet here. And that's because we located all the bolt holes for the seat belt, for the seat bracket. What we're going to do is carterize this thing. We're going to heat up the end of this punch, and then we're going to burn the carpet into spots so that we don't mess it up by cutting it, and it'll make sure the ends don't fray. So see how nice of a hole that makes? Ow. Actually, hold on. All right, next thing up, got the dash pad out. Looks like we've got some work to do here, just cleaning up. We're going to replace these old speakers while we're in there, just because we can, and just general cleanup. But let's show you the dash pad. So just at a quick glance, you're probably wondering why we're replacing it, since it's in such good condition. Honestly, I just felt like wasting money. But anyway, in all seriousness, what we're going to do here is we're going to take all the areas where it's like genuinely like not, you know, attached anymore, and we're going to pull it all back where it's not kind of glued on, like here. We'll rip it off. I ripped off some here, and then we're going to glue a new dash cover on top of this. So it'll look nice, it's cheap, and it'll make some of you know, this stuff they have to squint really hard to see go away. Got the glue on, and I don't have time to talk to you because we now have to rush and get it set on this thing. All right, we've got this contraption that looks like something out of Hellraiser 2, and basically what it is a bunch of clamps that are just going to hold the dash cover onto the actual dash structure while the glue, the resin underneath, dries. So we're going to let that sit for a minute. We're going to get back on the truck and do some other stuff. Next thing that's up is these door panels. This one's already torn down a little bit. Ryan's basically ready to pull this one off, replace it with a new one. The other side I'm having a little bit more fun because the window itself kind of flops around inside the door. The track is kind of funny, so I've got some adjusting to do on that side, so let's do that. All right, on this side, the problem is kind of this. Not ideal, you know? Especially because if you hit a bump, you're gonna wear this window. Okay, and I found a problem. There is a... Took 3 seconds. This bolt, for whatever reason, is loose, and that goes to this channel in here, which holds this part of the window. Also, looking at it, the inside of that channel has a weather strip that rides along the window like this, basically along this edge like this, or it's actually this edge, but you get my point, and holds the window, and it's missing most of it up here. So we're gonna have to, I'm gonna tighten this just to see if we can get what we need out of it, and then we're probably gonna have to replace that. All right, we got the window channel thing figured out, tightened up the bolt, adjusted a little bit. We're gonna need that channel piece, but for now, let's get a door panel on it, get the other stuff off. Basically, you got to take the lock pull off and the window crank. Door handle could stay. This is our new panel. It has provisions just for screws. And I look like a hotshot now because I got to watch Ryan struggle with this. So it almost sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but that's because I watched somebody else do it. Basically start at the top, get it pushed onto the door here. Start with a handle, I mean, that's what I said, if you were listening. Then get the top pushed on. This little bezel on. And basically, Bob's your uncle.
You know my Uncle Bob?
We have met his Uncle Bob. Yeah, so we're just gonna throw some screws in this. Make sure we don't have anything jammed up basically like this handle is right now. We're gonna have to take a little bit of material away from there because see the handle's kind of still out. So our handle's still out. I'm gonna take a little bit of material away from right here and this should go fine. And then we'll just screw it in. Interior's starting to come together, so that's nice. Little finishing touches go a long way, like these little sill plates. They're going to go right here. They're going to cover the edge of the carpet, clean up this little edge here. It's just going to look like a finished product, so that's nice. So let's throw these in. It's like 3 little screws. I did just say that it was simple and just 3 screws, but now you see me trying to light a forest fire with a torch next to some dry leaves. So what am I doing? Well, there's no holes in the floor because the floor pan has been patched before for where this sill plate goes. So now I've got to locate the holes, I've got to burn the carpet through, and then drill some holes. It's another day. Got some work to do, some empty stuff. If you look real close over here and over there. Also, it's nighttime again because, you know, it's like 2 in the afternoon or something. And you get 12.5 seconds of daylight every day now because of the time of year. Also, it's really cold. Anyway, we got these little speakers up here because can't miss an opportunity to blow your eardrums out with new speakers. And since I don't want to take the dash out again, we'll do them now. So they're in. We're ready to put the dash pad back on, get the gauges installed. Hopefully they work. And then we'll be looking at almost a finished truck. Yeah, Ryan just made a comment that was the worst thing that we've done to the truck, and I have to agree. That was a huge pain in the butt, considering all we did is just put a dash pad on this thing. But I think that's a testament to like cheap parts. We got this dash pad on eBay. It was cheap. It fit okay, but it ended up needing trimming everywhere. It just didn't agree with the dash. But it's in, and it looks a million times better what was in there, so. Oh, we're calling it for the day. Today was one of those days where we got almost nothing done. We weren't working for a very long time, a couple hours, but it's one of those days where you have nothing to show for your day of work. When you're finished, the truck looks exactly the same as when you started. The dash pad's in, but it's just going to be a more headache to try to get other little things to fit, and just really frustrated. So we're actually just calling it quits before one of us ends up playing in traffic or finding what's at the bottom of the George Washington Bridge. So we'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Despite this tremendous mess in here, we're actually almost done. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get this all cleaned up, but right now, just to top off our cherry interior, we're putting a retro sound stereo. I have one of these in the 66 if you guys watched that video. If you didn't, go back and watch it. And it sounds awesome. It looks the way it's supposed to look. It has all the modern amenities. You can add a phone jack to it so you can talk on the phone Bluetooth. You can power a sub with this thing, or an amp. It's Bluetooth, so you can sync your music from your phone. It's just all around just awesome. It's awesome, all except for the price. And I'm just noticing, looking in the camera, that my beard and my hat look like they're just one piece. like the same color, you know? All right, let's get this thing wired in. It's gonna need three things. It's gonna need switched power, 12 volt. It's gonna need a constant power for like clock and memory settings and things like that. And it's gonna need a ground, obviously. So we are gonna use the factory harness. Factory harness that we already preliminarily cut off. Yellow is switched. Gray is the time machine mode. And black is ground. We got our two speaker harnesses here. We're gonna have to get a constant power from somewhere else, which is fine because the fuse block is right there, also readily accessible. I can shove my entire arm down there pretty much. So, should be quick and easy. Famous last words, right? All right, I got this stuff all crimped up, ready to crimp it into the car itself. Like I said, we've got our constant power, our red is a switch power, our ground, and then we've got 4 speaker pairs. The way that speaker pairs are done is you usually get a colored wire, say green, and then you'll get green with a black tracer, white with a white tracer, gray with a gray tracer, purple with a purple tracer. Tracer meaning black wire on the side, a black line on the side of the wire. These pairs have to go together. So they'll go to, this will go to one speaker, this will go to another, this is another, and this is another. And the tracer is to help you with polarity. So positive, negative. And these are pretty much standard colors, green, white, gray, purple. You might not use all of them. We're gonna use 4 speakers in here, so let me get this thing crimped in. Also, these people are not sponsors of the channel because we don't have sponsors. Nobody watches the channel, so. This is for you guys. I'm telling you this. These Klein crimpers are awesome. So if you're looking for a good crimper, these are a good crimper. I know I've mentioned that before on the channel. Again, this is not for Klein tools that I'm mentioning this. It's for you guys because this thing's awesome.
What if I'm looking for a bad crimper?
If you're looking for a bad crimper, just use your teeth. It's fine. Or just hire a raccoon to chew on the wires for you. It's fine. Let me get these crimped in so we can listen to some tunes. All right, let me catch you guys up. We got our stereo wired in. We got it in the dash. We got the dash bezel back on, the gauge cluster back in. Basically, interior's finished. Couple little odds and ends. Can't even think of them off the top of my head, but there's definitely something. You know how that goes. Let me show you what the interior looks like and show you what our radio install looks like. I don't know if you can tell if I'm excited. I would really like to drive this thing. But yeah, brand new seat cover, new carpet, new dash pad, new door panels, a brand new radio. Really not a part of this interior that we didn't touch. It needs the outside to look like the inside. I think that is going to be what's next. And some mechanical stuff, but and our stereo works. I know it's tough to tell, you know, where you guys are sitting, but it actually sounds really good in here. The little cheap speakers that we put up in the dash really panned out because it actually sounds good in here. We hooked up the speakers that are in the behind the seats here, and simple toggles, volume, preset buttons. It looks like it belongs in the dash. It's just a pretty unit, so definitely worth the money. That's it for this one. Another huge improvement for the K10. Another step closer to getting it sold. Really would love to keep it though, but we can't. But I am really enjoying working on this truck. Anyway, again, it's a holiday season. I hope that everybody has a happy and healthy holiday season. with that, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. American Nostalgia Garage, out.